Welcome, 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 welcome. I am finally back with you here. I took the day to myself, trying to create that balance I keep harping on, and had a pretty good day. So I only made the one video earlier in attempts to not go full tinfoil on myself or you guys or my family. That's a joke. We could do a video, I suppose, on the subject of tinfoil and electronic harassment. And I mean, not just tinfoil, but I sit here and joke about it, but it is actually a very serious subject and would take quite a bit of work for me to put together and some experimenting, which would be fascinating. And I don't know, maybe it's a possibility. But the only hang up about that is it would require time. It would be a drawn out type of project. And I'm not so sure that I would like to invest that much of myself in it and go full tinfoil, so to speak, to gain awareness about electronic harassment and how to combat that. Again, I gotta make myself laugh. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry for whoever's listening. And you're just absolutely beside yourself. And here I am being an asshole. So, my apologies. I drummed up some more crap for us to talk about. This crap that doesn't matter, but we are paying attention to, because as TIs we know that we don't really have a choice if we want to successfully navigate life once our campaign has been up and running and we have full knowledge of that. A couple different things. The 3 ways gang stalking program is successful at creating the illusion everyone's in on it. And again, can't harp on enough about our friend or foe, Agenda 21. The little gem, Agenda 21. And really, it's that it not only allows for the permission and the use of these tactics, but it makes the government grants and funding possible for it as well. But what's so funny about that is the way they write it is they make the agenda sound like it's some kind of fantasy cure-all positive agenda answer. They make it sound like an answer, right? What people don't know is the agenda gives life to other agendas that are stemming from it. Agendas that are corrupt and just at least feel just plain evil. Agendas like gang stalking is what I'm talking about. Bills and agendas and bills do work this way. They give life to other parts and other agendas. Yes, we all know that it's all very corrupt. I think generally anybody who's at least educated themselves a little bit on the policies and politics in our country can put that much together. But usually these agendas, none of them, are waving the gang stalking flag as part of the list of actions the agenda will give life to, or could possibly give life to, when it's being debated if they should even come about. So that's really all I have to say. I just wanted to bring up the words Agenda 21, again, for anybody else who's just clicking on this and just beginning to inform yourself about the abuse and the targeting and the marking that's going on in your life. So 3 ways gang stalking program is successful at creating the illusion everybody's in on it. Everybody's in on it, right? I ran with that one too. How do you not? They're so good at it, right? I ran with it too for about, I think, a week. I mean, really going full tinfoil with it. And, but I just continued to plow through and detach myself from it so that I could see the full view of it. And now I'm able to see it for what it is. And talking to other TIs is definitely played a huge part in diagnosing this evil that has invaded my life and the lives of so many other Americans. And not just Americans. This is a worldwide problem. It's not like this just happens in our country. It's just that you hear about me talk about the United States because that's my culture. That's how, of course, I'm going to relate to gang stalking. That's how I'm going to know it. And that's how it's going to be used on me. But this is not just an American issue. It's not a new... It's a little newer to... in that it's got all the funding and permission now, thanks to the little gem, Agenda 21. But it's been around for about 50 years, and really, really implemented as of quite recently. Implemented through Agenda 21. So one way it is successful on creating the synthetic reality that everyone is in on it is obviously paid perps who stalk in large numbers, make it appear as though the masses are participating. And that's why they come in large groups. That's one of the reasons. And the second reason is you, the TI. Plus the brainwashing and psychosis. A lot of times you understandably reach the point, not me, I'm not talking about myself by any means, but it's understandable when targeted individuals do this, reach the point where you just can't entertain the reality that it could be something other than your campaign. You know, shit happens. Don't let gang stalking be the excuse for you to not take responsibility anymore for anything. Or anything that you've ever done. When you do that, I know it's really difficult to not do that because it looks like it is and you're so conditioned and that's what they want. And so your whole program's designed to... I know what you're going through, man. It's always right there in the back of your mind, right? Even as you're detaching. Because you've been through this intense program. And it's gonna do that. It's gonna do its freaking job because it's good. But when you do that and you just hand over all your responsibility, you become even more dependent now than you've already been forced to be. Your brain is becoming more dependent on gang stalking to think for itself and the handlers and perps. So now, that being said, now, if that's what you're doing, then your handler is thinking for you. He is, because you are allowing him to. So while they do have great control, at the end of the day, it is still your responsibility. And if you can find it in you to cop to that, it's going to make you so much less dependent on this and a lot more aware. And so there's, there's a lot of, I'm sorry, excuse me. The number 3 reason why they're so successful at creating the illusion. Everyone's out to get you. Everybody's in on it. It's the whole community. Absurd. Is coercive persuasion. We've talked about this before, but I'm talking about it in terms of coercing others into acting a certain way towards you. Not campaigning others, not soliciting others to campaign against you. I'm talking about coercing someone and they are totally unaware. Plain old-fashioned manipulation, but just on steroids. So that, and causing people to treat you in a certain way, right? Possibly. This is all a possibility. I want to be clear about that. These are just my assumptions. I don't know number 3 here that I'm talking about. This is just something that I've been playing with. Okay. A lot of TIs are saying that the handler, that we all have chips, everyone's heard that we're implanted with chips, and I know I haven't done an episode about that, and for the same reasons I haven't done an episode about the previous topic that I discussed in the beginning. But take up a lot of time, and I don't want to get all into that. But I'm not totally opposed to it. But anyway, so there's a lot of talk out there that we're implanted with these chips. And to further that, what's being said is that not only does the handler have full control over you that way in initiating episodes and many, many other things, but he can actually, so to speak, I guess that's another way of saying that he can hop in and out of you. And then we need to be very careful about our language here. And that's why I want to talk about this, because saying things like that, and there's been a lot of talk about that, is creating more of this talk about mental illness and how TIs are mentally ill, because we're not being careful with our language. And it's just so important when we get on here that we do that. And I know it's difficult, and we're all trying to navigate something we know nothing, we have no experience with. I have no experience with talking on the internet, but this is so important. I really think that everyone needs to make an effort to clean it up a little bit and think about the words that are coming out of your mouth. Not just because you're misrepresenting gang stalking. That's not what I'm saying. Because of your own campaign and making things damn harder on you. So all this chip talk, hopping in and out of bodies and stuff, be clear about, what that means. So I'm suggesting coercive persuasion with other people. So now the handler is controlling other people in the community, supposedly, who are also chipped, perhaps. Maybe don't have a campaign against them at all, aren't aware that they are participating in harming you by the things that they're saying and doing. They just think that they're doing something, but really they are being full controlled. That's what a big idea going around is about the whole, quote, mind control thing. And we did talk about that as well. And I was very clear about, for me anyway, what mind control means. Coercive persuasion on steroids, really. And damage. Just damage, creating damage. But at the end of the day, again, it is your responsibility. So, yeah, one last thing. Religion and gang stalking. I'll end here with kind of how I opened, harping on the whole balance thing. Now, religion, whatever your religion is, all right, I really couldn't do this without mine and my inquiry. Call it religion, call it whatever you want. I have no idea where else I would turn to and how I would know, in fact, what is real at the end of the day and what's not. But, and I mean, don't get me wrong, not all the way across the board, because we're all damaged. I'm a TI. I'm damaged just like you. I have moments all day long where I'm very confused. It's getting better as it's getting worse, right? If you know what I mean. The up, down, up, down, up, down. But really diving into the religion and really reaching for that and turning to God, that is so, that's great and everything, but I look at it at just the same as really diving into gang stalking and getting way too deep into all that shit and not having a balance. It's not good. Even if gang stalking is in your life, spirituality is wonderful. Don't get me wrong. But when it is taking the place of other things in your life and other things are lacking, it's then acting like something that's harming you. And even religion can do that. Okay? Even inquiry can do that. It can be anything. These people will use anything. Think about it. They even use gang stalking. They even take that and make it something it's not. And display that for you. And get you going on that. Make you think it's bigger than it is. Make you think it's all these things that it's not. They even take gang stalking and do it. It's like nothing is exempt for these people to use. So why would religion? And if they are in fact having so much control over us, like we were just talking about, then it's not good to be getting too deep into anything, because they can use that as well. And that's really, I'm drawing from the whole voice to mouth theory and or fact. That, I'm in the beginning too. So I'm just getting my sea legs too. So I need to learn some more about that. Or I guess think about it more before I'm confident in sharing. Feeling like I have something of value to share on it. That's what I'm really saying. All right. That's really it. That's all I've got here. I will try and get some more videos up tomorrow. I will absolutely be thinking about you guys. I wish you all the best. Everybody, please get rest. I know it's difficult. Good night.